Today we're going to be talking about who would win in a fight, Jason or Carrie, of all people. So, yeah, let's get spooky. Greetings, everyone. My name is Nightshade. This is The Night Shift, a home for all things spooky. And today we're looking at Friday the 13th, Part 7, A New Blood, released in 1988. And this one answers the age-old question, who would win in a fight, Jason or Carrie? Because everybody was asking that question. Absolutely nobody was asking that question. But we got the answer anyways. And whenever I was a kid growing up, this was my favorite Friday the 13th film. And having just rewatched it, it's not as good as I remember it being. Now, normally whenever it comes to the Friday the 13th franchise, a lot of the times whenever I put these movies on, I'm doing something. Now, sculpting a mask, painting masks, playing my guitar, recording guitar, tracking guitar, stuff like that. But my full attention's never really on the films. Now, whenever I go to do a review, I watch these things back to back. I watch it 2 times in a row. One, just to get a feel for the movie and just enjoy the movie as it is. And the second time to actually start writing my review. And you know, much to my surprise, this one left a lot to be desired. And you know, whenever I did my review, I was actually kind of surprised with my own personal results because, you know, factoring in nostalgia, I thought that I would enjoy this film a lot more. Turns out that is not the case at all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. For this review, I'm going to be breaking it down into 2 categories, the positives and the negatives. Let you know what I liked about this film and what I didn't like about this film. Then when we are done with that, I'm going to tell you what my favorite scene in this film is and exactly why it is my favorite scene. Then we will score this out of 10 and end the video. Here on The Night Shift, we always start things off on the bright side with... Obviously, Jason is going to go on the positives here because he is a fucking beast. This is Kane Hodder's first outing as Jason. And whenever you look at his Jason, it's no wonder he's most people's favorite Jason. Like, he really embraces and embodies the character and really actually made it his own. Like, he's put his own stamp of, like, the movements of Jason and, you know, the breathing of Jason. Like, you could tell that Kane Hodder is the one that's behind the mask no matter what. Anytime that somebody's impersonating Jason, you can tell that they're impersonating a Kane Hodder Jason by just the way that they move and the way that they stand still even. Like there's just a certain personality that Kane Hodder brings to the table whenever it comes to Jason. I've said it before and I will say it again. This is my all-time favorite Jason look. Even though this movie is not that great, this is the coolest looking Jason. We get all of the years of just getting beat up and, you know, him being dead and rotting at the bottom of the lake. Almost all the damage to the hockey mask is present. I think the only thing we're really missing is the gunshot to the forehead from part 6, but all the other damage is there, and I really like that level of continuity. Even the outfit itself is still comprised of the same outfit that he wore all the way back in part 3. You know what? I love movie continuity. I love it whenever they take an outfit and evolve it throughout all the films. So yeah, all the years of damage, all the rot of the flesh, and just the overall look and imposing presence of Kane Hodder's portrayal of Jason definitely made this go onto the positives list for sure. Like, how could I not? He's the best thing about this movie. So moving right along into our next positive, we have... That's it? That's the only positive I have? Surely I must be mistaken. Nope, looking at my list here, that is in fact the only positive I have for this film, and that is surprising. So with that being said, let's go on to the not so bright side of things with... So even though the majority of the plot is exactly the same as it is in all the other films, this one's just a little bit dumber. A bunch of teens go to a house on the lake and get murdered one by Jason. However, this one has a Force-sensitive user that can move things with her mind. I know it's not Force-sensitive, but in my mind, she's a Jedi. But in this one, we get Jason versus Tina, and Tina is essentially the Timu version of Carrie. She's got psychic abilities, and she killed her dad, and then somehow resurrects her dad to defeat Jason in this one, and it's all very dumb. Now, the reason that they wanted to pit Jason versus Carrie is because they couldn't get Freddy. Now, when this film is just being talked about, they actually wanted to try to go ahead and do a Jason versus Freddy. At this point in time, Freddy was the hot new thing in horror, and Jason was kind of old news, such is the cruel nature of trends. But they actually pitched that idea, and New Line Cinema actually turned them down because they didn't need Jason's help. Jason needed Freddy's help more so than Freddy needed Jason's help. So after they got turned down, they were like, all right, so who's the next big horror villain that we could pick from? I know, Carrie. You know, Carrie from that one and done horror film years ago. Let's do something with her, as long as it is a legally distinct version. And you know what? As much as I love the movie of Carrie, that idea was fucking dumb. It's just a weird concept and a weird move. I don't know why they went with psychic abilities. I would have much rather, if you can't get Freddy, I would have much rather of them had like a Michael Myers knockoff. Everybody asks the question, who would win in a fight, Jason or Michael Myers? We could have had a dueling killer kind of thing, like there's a Michael Myers knockoff, legally distinct Michael Myers knockoff versus Jason, and they're killing people one by one, and at the end they kind of meet each other face to face and then just start fucking each other up. That sounds a hell of a lot better than Jason versus Carrie. But what do I know? I'm not a writer. I'm not the one getting paid millions of dollars for terrible ideas. But make no mistake, this is a terrible idea. Like, I know people enjoy this movie, and I'm not shitting on you. If you do enjoy this film, sound off in the comments below as to what appeals about this concept to you. Sound off. I look forward to reading that. And some of the arguments that I've heard for this movie, people defending this movie, are they go along the lines of saying, all bets are off. Jason is a zombie. Why not have people with superpowers? Like, it doesn't make any sense anyways. Let's just have fun with it. And to that degree, fine. Yeah, I get it. It would be fun if this was a fun movie, but unfortunately, I didn't really have that good of a time watching this. I feel like if you're gonna do it, go all out and make it like just the craziest shit. Don't dip your toes in the pool if you ain't gonna swim. I don't get it, and I no longer have the appeal of this film, but it is what it is. So moving right along into our next negative, we have the MPAA really came down on this film hard. So much so that this film is relatively bloodless. Like, there's tiny little bits of blood throughout, but other than that, no. The kills fucking sucked. Other than maybe like the sleeping bag kill, the kills pretty much suck. Maybe the party popper in the eye where it makes that little horn noise. That one was all right, but the rest of the kills fucking suck. There's no saving grace for me with the rest of the kills. And I gotta clarify that, yes, I know this is not the production's fault. Like, they tried to give us a good kill-filled movie, but the MPAA just would not have it. But I'm talking about this film and the end result, and the end result is that the kills kind of suck. And the kills are the main reason I watch Friday the 13th films. So if the kills suck, the movie's not going to do well for me. So, with like the kills in this one are just butchered. No pun intended, but a lot of what was left on the cutting room floor could have had potential. Like, they have some kills that are like in the worst quality that I think they were the dailies or something like that. There are some very piss poor quality versions of the kills that you can see online, but the full constructed kills are gone and lost to time, and we will never get to see them, and that is a very, very sad fact. So moving right along into my final negative, we have... So aside from Tina and maybe Dr. Cruz, everybody else kind of falls by the wayside. This might be one of the most forgettable casts. It's a toss-up between this one And the next one that we got coming up on Friday, it's a big toss up there. And it really sucks to see because, like, I know a lot of these characters are just written to be cannon fodder, and, I'm fine with that, but I would like for the kills to have a little bit of weight behind them, like make me care about like maybe one or two of the characters and everybody else can fuck off. That's fine. But everybody in this film is just a walking, talking stereotype. You got the nerd, you got the jocks, you've got the fucking preppy girls, and all of them feel like hollow shells of people. I know there's some people that don't care about stuff like that, but I do. Whenever it comes to my preferences and my tastes in movies, I would really like to care about the person, or at least know a little bit about the person that is about to be killed on screen. Like, give me a little something to attach to, so that way the weight of the kill holds, rather than just mindless killing. Mindless killing, I guess, is cool from like looking at the practicality of how kills work on screen. I'm fascinated by like the makeup work and designing kills in horror movies. I think that stuff is absolutely fascinating. So from that aspect, it can be cool, but like whenever I'm watching a movie and I'm invested in a movie, I would like to get a little bit invested in the characters that are being killed off. Otherwise, it's like, what's the point? Why would I care about these people dying? Now I'm more emotionally attached to Jason, and Jason hardly has any personality at all in any of these movies. So if you got poor characters, a poor story, and even poorer kills, I'm not going to have that good of a time, and unfortunately, I didn't have that good of a time with this film. Now in hindsight, I'm wondering, what the fuck did I even see in this film to begin with? Like, this used to be one of my favorites as a kid. Now as an adult, maybe I'm jaded. I don't know. I didn't enjoy most of this film, if I'm honest, and I don't know what I ever saw in it, and that's a strange thing to say, and that's a strange realization to have. Maybe I was just really dumb as a kid. I'm really dumb now. Fuck it. Well, that's gonna do it for the review portion of this film. Now let's go ahead and move on into our next segment, which is if I have to pick a favorite scene, nothing really stands out. I guess if I had to pick, it would probably be Jason's resurrection, just because Kane Hodder looks like a fucking badass coming out of the lake. That costume looks really fucking sick, and it's the first time we are ever introduced to Kane Hodder as Jason. It's kind of goofy that Tina resurrects him from the power of her mind. They don't really go into any detail as to how she's able to do that. Up until this point, it's just Tina moving shit with her mind. But I guess in the depths of her ass, she has the power of bringing life to the dead. But yeah, the premise of Jason's resurrection is goofy as fuck, but and in my opinion, I guess it is the coolest scene, as Kane Hodder looks like a badass. Alright, so we're here at the end. Now it's time to score this film, and honestly, I'm gonna have to give this like a 2.5, 3 at the absolute highest, because although Jason looks fucking cool, everything surrounding Jason, just in my personal opinion, sucks. And I hate to say that because, again, this was my favorite growing up, and I don't know why. Alright, so that is just about going to do it for me. If you liked the video, let me know by leaving me a like. Comment down below what you want to see on the channel next. I will do my best to accommodate, I really will. And until next time, my name is Nightshade. This has been The Night Shift, and I will see you in the next video. Stay spooky, my friends. Just wanted to give you a quick little apology for the wonky, weird schedule last week. Only doing a video on Friday and then dropping the second video of the week on Sunday. A little bit weird, but I have been balls deep in filming videos. It's just not the videos for this channel. It's going to be all over there on the Shadowland Universe's channel, and really excited about it, but I am tired. I took time off of work and rested very, very little, if at all. But I am pumped about all of this stuff, and really excited for what the future holds with that and this channel. I'm having a lot of fun. I've just been having a lot of fun cranking out videos, even though I'm very tired. But, you know, this week should be back to normal, and so should the rest of the video drops. So, yeah, really excited about that. And if you're still watching up to this point, guess what? You are a part of an elite group known as the Spooky Squad. You've watched the video all the way up to this point, which means you are an absolute real one. So I need you to let me know that you are a real one by going down in the comments below and commenting hashtag Spooky Squad 2025. Sound off, you spooky soldier. And also, while I got you guys here, if you guys would be so kind, go check out the video at the top of the description in this video. And it's the Loc Thulu mask video. It's just released today. Today is Sunday for me. Whenever I record these, I record all my videos on Sunday. And it just dropped today. If you would be awesome human beings and click the video and go give the video a like, and even consider subscribing to the video, because I'm going to be busting my ass getting really dope content pushed out over there as well. I would greatly appreciate that. And I promise you this will be like the last time that I ask you guys to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be business as usual for the rest of the week. All right, so I got a bunch more videos to film, and I will catch you guys on Friday, where I will be in a bloody version of this mask. So, you know, see you then. Peace.